Hey, what's up, Photo Booth fam? It's Tiffany coming to you guys with another video. I know I've been away for about a month or so. I really was contemplating like what topic do I want to hit next, and I landed on just going over Snappic with you guys, hopping in my account, going through how to set up a 360 photo booth event. I don't know about you guys, but for me, Snappic was a little intimidating when I first got started. So I spent a lot of time doing touch pics in our first year of operation, but recently, I'd say at the start of this year, I started using Snappic and getting a little bit more familiar and more comfortable with it. And so I definitely would recommend it. I did an earlier video where I reviewed the difference between TouchPic and Snappic. If you haven't saw that, make sure you check that video out. But today, we're just going to hop in, like I said, check out my account, and I'm going to kind of take you through the steps and the workflow of setting up your event for a 360. All right, y'all. So make sure if you haven't already that you subscribe to this channel, because we are going to be going over different topics and different challenges for all photo booth owners, whether you have a 360 or digital, for just in business in general. We're going to talk about tips. So make sure that you are subscribed and that you hit that notification bell so you know when I'm coming with the heat. And then also make sure that you like this video and get down in the comments, y'all. I love to get some feedback from you guys, topics that you want me to cover, challenges that you're having, even tips from me that maybe things I don't know. We're on this journey together of learning and growing our business, all right? All right, so I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Let's jump in. All right, y'all, so I have just logged into my account in Snappic, and we are going to jump in and show you guys how to make this happen, all right? So we are getting started. First, we're doing this video, we're just going to focus on a 360 booth, all right? So first, you would go into events. From here, we're going to create an event. I had to move my face here. That might get in my way. And then from there, you're going to click popular, because we're gonna make this real easy, right? I don't want to start from scratch. I want to go with something that's already created. There's already a template in here that is set up for you guys. All right, so we're gonna create popular 360. I'm gonna hit OK. Let me see if I can shrink my face a little bit more here. Then it's gonna pull in that 360 event from your template. And guys, the easy thing about this is once you get it created the first time, you're able to just keep duplicating that event over and over again once you kind of get those settings. So depending on also what payment that you guys set up, if you're doing like the monthly or if you're doing a single event payment, whatever, you're doing a yearly event, sometimes you get this notice that's an incompatible event. So typically, if you're doing the pay per event, you have to do, I think it's like the $80 event or something like that. And so I always, sometimes this pops up for me, but I'm going to convert because I have the enterprise account. So I'm not going to worry about that. So automatically all of these things are going to pop in. At first glance, it looks like a lot of stuff that you have to manage, but you all actually don't even need to tinker with most of the stuff before you get started. So first things first, we're going to go in here and edit our event info. So I usually like to start here. This is just going to go over the types of videos or photos that you're going to use at your event. If you already clicked the 360 template, it's automatically going to click that video FX for you. So that's all you would need. All right, then you will go into your event info. This is where you're going to put the details of your event. And this is really critical, especially if you do the pay per event, because it will not allow you'll get a watermark across all of your videos until you have set the time to start. So whenever I did do the pay per event, I would usually give me a couple hour buffers on both ends. I think you can have up to an 8-hour event when you do pay per event, if memory serves me right. So I would usually put some buffers on both ends just so I have some time when I'm in testing mode to get there and the watermark is off. So you put the date and time there of your event. I name your event, so I always put that in here because in the end, when you want to download your photos, it'll name that event. So I'll always put it specific to the event that I'm doing. If it's a Delta, anniversary party or whatever, school anniversary, whatever, I name that there. And make sure, again, like I said, that timing is right, because when you do pay per event, it does time out. All right, so then from there, you will click Save Changes. I'm going to scroll down here. Then we're going to go down to event options. And this is going to be where you decide the type of sharing options that you're going to use. Generally, obviously, you know, if you're doing 360, you don't need to have print. I usually have social media, email, text messaging, and microsite. I don't generally do surveys. That's another option. And then you don't necessarily need this AVA data unless you are taking some of that information and kind of using it for marketing for maybe the company that hired you. This might come into account when you're doing a corporate event. You can pull a lot of the user data, and actually they can use that for targeted marketing. So that is another selling point that I use for companies as to why they will want to hire us and have us at their events. Excuse me. So I would uncheck the AVA data. Don't necessarily need that. The QR interaction I think is really cool, especially if you have a larger event, because it actually allows them to scan the barcode while they're in line and then put their name, their number, and then select their template. And then as soon as they walk up to the booth, they hand you their phone. You put the barcode in front of the phone. As soon as that, you know, it registers, it starts the photo booth. And then from there, when they leave, they can just walk away. And so that line that sometimes backs up after the, you know, people get off the booth and they're waiting for the video to get to the sharing station, and they're like, is it there yet? Is it there yet? It's just, to me, I don't like it. So I sometimes prefer the QR interaction because it kind of makes it smoother on the back end. QR sharing, obviously that's after they use the booth, they can scan the barcode, which I always check that. And AirDrop, which is the one that I probably use the most when I'm not doing the QR interaction. And then from there, I always leave the admin password, just keep it simple so it's something you remember. So whatever that might be for you, save changes. And then this is where you would download. So before my event, if I'm doing the QR interactions, I would download this. And then typically what I do is just take a picture of it on the iPad. And then that way they'll be able to walk up to the iPad, scan it. And then, like I said, kind of take them through that workflow that I talked about earlier. So you don't even have to print it. Just take a picture of that and have that on another device. And then this is where your microsite is going to be. And I already have a template that I set up. Again, once you set these things up the first time, you don't have to keep doing it. And so from there, let me get down here. This is where you would edit your template. Generally, it's going to come in like this. So you can edit here, tinker with it. They have different types of templates and stuff you can use. What I did was I created my template, and once you have that saved, you can go into your microsite template library, and then this is my template that I have set up for all of my events. So once you do it the first time, it took me a little bit of time to get that set up, but once you do it, it's good to go. And I set mine up so that I don't have to go back in here and edit it every event. So you can make it a little specific, like, oh, you know, thanks for coming, or, you know, so-and-so's birthday, whatever. You can make it specific to that. And that, again, might be something you might consider for your higher end clients, maybe some of your corporate events. But you know, for your everyday photo booth event, I don't necessarily think that you need to edit that every time. So once you get that set up, that's done. Then you can get in and, you know, you can create your email. Same thing that I did for the microsite. I went in there, I created my template for my emails. And again, I keep that very standard. Here's your photo booth, or thanks for using the photo booth, or something like that. And it'll send them a link directly to their photo. And then what else is in here? I don't really tinker with these other ones. The text message, same thing. I just do thanks for attending, and here's your photo, to keep it really boilerplate, so I don't have to keep going in here and doing it, because then you might forget between events and stuff like that, you know. So I just like to keep it very general. So this is going to be where you would edit your app experience. Again, I'm giving you guys the basics, and this is all I do. I probably don't use all of the special effects and kind of additional things that Snappic has to offer. But again, what I do is I'd say bare minimum, and I still think it looks very professional. It doesn't require a lot of work on my end. So this is what your attract screen is going to look like on your photo booth. And if my face wasn't in the way, you would see over here, this is the sharing station. So generally, I leave the photo booth alone, because they usually don't see that anyway. That's on the phone. But if you wanted to upload something so that it is the same as your sharing station, you have a track screen on both screens, you could do that. So generally, I'll just go in here and go to the track screen, and then I will edit that. So I will usually upload, and just to be sure, this is the one you want if you just want a still photo like this. So if it's whatever my overlay is, say it's happy 30th birthday, Brittany. Whatever that kind of design is, I'll recreate that in Canva on an attract screen, and then I will just click upload, and that goes in here. So I keep it simple. Like I said, I don't do any animations or anything like that, but it is this second one here, which sometimes can get confusing because they have these 3 different options here. So from there, once I make that, I save the changes. And then you really get into the nitty gritty, which is where I think Snappic stands out from all the other softwares that I've used, is these templates that you can do. Now, guys, I could probably do a whole other segment on templates and, using some of the overlays and the special effects and all of that stuff that they have. So I won't go into that in depth today, but I just wanted to show you guys, this is where you would, select your different templates. And the same thing that I did on others, once I got these templates to the way I personally like them for my events, I saved them. So here's 4 of the ones that I saved, because some of them are very unique, I guess is the right word. They're very high tech. So some of it, to me, sometimes can be overkill. Sometimes I like to just have a clean video with maybe 1 or 2 special effects. But hey, everybody is different. So once you get in here though, you would just click 360, and here are all the different options that they have to choose from. And like I said, each one you could actually go in here and tinker with a little bit. So I'm going to move my face so I can see over here. So I'm going to click cancel real quick so I can take you guys back to see. So these are the ones that are already in this event. Again, it's just getting pulled in from that initial template. So you could add new, which is selecting from the library, or you can just click to edit, right? And so that's what I did. I went in here and edit the existing ones. This is where you would put your overlay. So you would X this out, upload the overlay that you created in your files. And then if you did music, this is where you would add it. I personally don't do music. I generally keep the square 1280 by 1280 resolution, but obviously you could switch that up if you want it. Under recordings, I only put in here the countdown. That is the only thing that I tinker with here. But like I said, this thing is really powerful. And if you kind of learn all of the ins and outs of the recordings and the timelines and the special effects, guys, you can get really creative with this. But like I said, I'm giving you the basics. So like I said, on the recordings, I usually do a countdown between 3 to 5 seconds. This is where your video timeline is where it really creates the parts of your video. And so from here, you can see the duration right now of this video is only about 13 seconds, which to me is kind of short. So, if I wanted to, I could add an element and that would make it a little bit longer. And then from there, you would select the recording 1. Down here is your playback speed and all of that stuff. Again, really kind of high tech for me. I don't really get into all of that. But I did want to highlight where you could add some other video special effects. So right now, the AI segmentation, I'm going to go back to master settings so you guys can see. So this cool little setup here that looks kind of AI, that special effects, is what is called the AI segmentation. And again, this thing is really high tech. You can get in here and tinker with that even more. But what you would want to do, say you didn't want that, you could either exit out, or you could add different other special effects in here, which like I said, I try to keep it very basic. But if you wanted to add another special effect, you could click that, and then you see all of these other special effects that you can choose from. And then even from there, it goes even deeper. If you click Overlay Library, you get some of these other special effects that aren't shown there. So, they have it by different types: flash effects, flame effects, confetti. You can go in here and tinker around with it. And then you can also select a portion of the video that you want that special effect on as well. So like I said, that's going to automatically come up as overlay library, but usually what I do, click the one that I want, and then I'll name that so I know what that is. That's circles, circle particles. And then I'll save it. My face is in the way again. Again, remember, doing this once and saving it, I always do save to effect library, right? So that way it's easy. Next time I come in there, my effects are going to show that. So that's showing me here that I did circle particles, and I'm going to have the circle particles and the AI effects because that was already on there. So that is pretty much how that worked. And like I said, you can build custom effects. It gets really high tech, y'all. But once you start tinkering around, what I do recommend you do after you found what you like is to do the preview the timeline, which you can't see because my face is over it right now. Oh, actually it's over here. Still in beta phase, but I love doing this so you can get an idea of what the effect you created, like how it's going to look in real life without pulling it up on the phone, right? So you could click that, it's going to connect, it'll take a little bit a minute, and then it'll show you in real time what the video looks like so you can get a feel for it. So I just always like to point that out because I like using that little feature. That it's a newer feature, I'd say, over the last few months. And then from there, once you're happy with it, you just click save. And again, click save changes again to make sure that it's going to save that there. Once you've edited all the different ones, these are going to be all the different templates that your attendees will be able to choose from at their event. I generally stick to 2 to 3 templates. I don't do 4. That's a little overkill for me. But from there, you pretty much have everything saved for your event. And then I think you click, actually, I think that's it. Yeah. So everything is saved. And then again, like I mentioned earlier, once you kind of get in the rhythm of doing this, you can just duplicate it, right? So your next event, instead of starting from scratch, you can just click duplicate and then just go in there and tinker the things that you want to change. So yeah, that pretty much gives you guys the overview of Snappic. I hope that I went through it kind of fast, but I hope that I simplified it. Like I said, maybe in another video, I'll jump back in and we'll go into some of the special effects and the templates and the overlays and how to do all that, because that could be a video in and of itself. But I don't like to keep you guys too long because I know once you get into the longer videos, people stop watching it anyway. So anyway, hope this was helpful. Again, hop in the comments, give me your thoughts, give me your feedback, give me your ideas. And yeah, I will continue on this journey and making more videos to bring value to you guys. All right. Catch you next time. Bye.